Hi everyone, 2021 has arrived and I'd like to share some of my New Year's resolutions with you guys. But before I do that, I just wanted to say that anytime is a great time to kind of take inventory and maybe set a resolution if we're feeling like we need to, or set an intention, set a focus. It's not something that is just saved for the beginning of the new year. We can do it at the start of a new month or the start of a new week. And oftentimes that can be like a great time to do it, because say we have this thing that we want to like change or adjust in our lives. It's like sometimes it's like hard to do it in the moment, and to be honest, it just doesn't always feel like special or like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set this whole new course in my life from this moment, right? It could just be like finishing your lunch. So like what you can do is you can wait for like the start of like the new week, like say like it's gonna be Sunday, and say like from this day forward I'm going forward with my new intention, my new resolution, and that kind of has this like different kind of feel to it, this different kind of quality, this different kind of energy to it. So that's just a suggestion. Also, sometimes we set these like resolutions or intentions, these like goals for ourselves, and then as time goes on we might realize like, hey, this isn't quite working for me, or like I think I need to tweak it. I think that's also important to remember, that we don't have to like stick with something that's not working with it for us just because we said that we would at some point in time, right? If I set something January 1st as a goal, and then by like June 1st I'm like, well, okay, like I'm not so sure about that, like, obviously I'm gonna want to adjust it at that point and come up with like a whole new plan that works for me from that moment forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and share some of my resolutions with you now. So my first one is to be an intentional, deliberate creator. And this one's so important to me because I feel like, our life is a creation. It's our creation. Everybody's has their own choice, their own, palette that they can create with. And for me, I think that just setting intentions for my day, for my experiences, the things that happen in my life are very important. Even if you're just setting the intention to have like the best experience possible, I think that can be super important. Like, say I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably gonna be a fun day, but like I can set the intention, like I'm gonna have a great time, I'm gonna laugh with my friends, and I'm just gonna see some beautiful sights, and do some fun stuff, whatever it is. You're like bringing these positive intentions, almost like expectations in a way. And I think that's important because you can go into the same scenario and be like, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. What's like popping into my mind right now is like, when we go into like maybe for like medical appointments, like doctor's visits, or something we don't really want to do, and we kind of like have that intention already, like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go, I don't know about this. Well, instead you can be like, no, like I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna meet the friendliest person in there, I'm gonna have a positive interaction with them, and they're gonna help me, and this is gonna go excellent. So just things like that. My second resolution is for deeper soul alignment, greater alignment with my soul, just really kind of listening to myself even more, and, acting on like the intuition that I receive, and just trusting it and really being in alignment with it. And on the same token, it's also noticing when things aren't in alignment with me, and, reconfiguring situations like that. The next one for me is to relax and allow. And this one I really love because there are definitely some vibrations that I want to bring more of into my own personal life, but I think in general, especially being someone who's like kind of like anxious, or a lot of people get anxiety, I think it's important to just know that like you can approach the same situation in a relaxed state instead of an anxious state. Because it's like, hey, this situation happens, right? You're in this experience, and you can either react to it, anxious and or you can just be like, okay, meet it with a relaxed approach, like, okay, this is happening, like, what can I do about it? I'm just gonna chill And either way, it's like the same situation happened, it's the same point passed on the timeline, but you know, you either react in a way that like took you off balance, or in a way that just made you feel cool and alignment and balance. And I think the other important thing about that is like the more we relax, the more we open up our energy to allow things to flow to us. Like the things that we put out there that we want can then flow back to us. Versus if we're in like this state of like, oh God, this isn't happening. Why isn't this happening? And like you're putting out this energy that's like almost like blocking what you want. It's definitely not allowing it. So relax and allow. The next one for me personally is sharing my teachings. I get a lot of insights and I put them in journals. I have tons of journals, but I've definitely been feeling called more to make videos and to share things on video versus just, you know, for myself, or, you know, I do a lot of like blogging, and I'll continue to write, but I also definitely want to like mix it up and just make videos, because it's like the transmission, the quality of what's coming through is different, whether it's written or like in-person interaction, or in this case on video interaction. So I think that's something that's kind of been on my mind a lot. The next one is holding a loving space, and I invite anyone who's interested in this to also, you know, do this, not just this year, but always. I think that, you know, at the end of the day, love is like the strongest vibration. It's like our core vibration. It's who we are. And in any given moment, we can hold a loving space. So, you know, whether we're in a room full of strangers or in a room full of people that we know and love, or whether we're by ourselves, wherever we are, whatever the situation is, we can hold the vibration of love. That's just resonating with love, choosing that vibration. You know, it's like a good way to put it is like, you know, if you're in a vibration of fear, you're worried, you're scared, right? So love is just the expansive state, is the loving state. It's just like holding that feeling in your heart and like in your body, and it vibrates outward. So it's like, think of like hitting like a, you know, a sound bowl or a drum. It's like when you do that, the sound doesn't stay there. It vibrates out from the object. And the same thing when you're holding a certain vibration, it's like you're transmitting that outward. So I think one thing that we can do to like all help each other and ourselves, the planet, everything, is just being mindful to like hold that vibration of love. You know, spend time each day doing that. If you find yourself like maybe in a situation like maybe you're at the store and the line's long, there's a lot of people around, and you're starting to feel a little anxious, like, you know, choose love, choose the vibration of love and hold that. And you're giving that to yourself by doing that, and also to everybody that's surrounding you. You're offering that vibration up, and presenting it in that space, and other people can tune into that and resonate with that. So I think that's very important. The next one is expressing myself more. I think that, you know, it can show up in a variety of ways, and for me, I'll be excited to see how that shows up. But you know what that means is, you know, kind of like staying with things that are on your mind more, or, you know, when you're feeling creative, like share that with others. And I think this one's really important, because when we're not expressing ourselves, we're suppressing ourselves, and that doesn't feel good, and that doesn't feel right. And I think a lot of times we get into this like kind of like programming of just being used to like, oh, I don't want to like act outside the box, I don't want to be like too much, or in a way like too me, right? Because that's what you're really saying if we're like not expressing ourselves. So just like, if you're feeling that self-expression, express yourself. Like whatever it is, tell that joke, just whatever kind of like thing you want to do, just be you and do you. The next one for me is beingness, being in the moment, soaking in the moment. If you visited my website, intuitiveexplorer.com, I have this blog called The Art of Being. And it's basically just referring to like being in the moment, being present. But what that means to me is like, you're just here, and all of a sudden like you're like in this super relaxed state. And then when that happens, it's like you might notice like kind of like your energy feels like it's expanding, or you might feel sensations in your body, or like I often have like kind of visuals in the background of my mind that are usually abstract, but things that are going on all the time that like I'm not aware of unless I take that moment to just like be in the moment, to just be here and just to like feel what I feel and to like just like simply be. And I also think that is a great way to like reset our energy. I think that, you know, by doing that, you're just kind of bringing your energy to a better place. You're reeling things back into like your authentic self when you're doing that, because you're tuning into you and to who you are. And the last one on my list is to simply have fun. I think that, you know, sometimes life can be so serious. It's like we have our jobs or our to-do list, the things that we're like, oh, I gotta get all this done in the day. And we like put all this like weight on ourselves, this like burden on ourselves. And like things happen for us, like for the positive, when we just like have fun and we play and we just hold that vibe. It's like we'll just naturally just gravitate and magnetize good things to us. And it's like you think like you have to like do and be so serious to get things done, but actually plenty can get done when we just allow ourselves to have fun and to play. And oftentimes that's when like I get like great vibrations or like great like just kind of information streaming through. I'll have like a lot of insights, and you know, I think like we're all here in the world, you know, to accomplish and do all these different things. We all have our, you know, different purposes and things that we want to do, but I think we're also here to have fun and to enjoy life, and I just personally want to make that a priority. So anyways, that's my resolutions, and hopefully, you know, that sharing them with you guys, you've gained something from this too. And you know, if anyone hasn't set any resolutions yet, you know, set them, set something for yourself that like makes you feel good. You know, just listen to yourself, you'll know what it is. And I think that is all for now. So happy 2021.